Giving a massage, wake up this body. Okay. So when my son was in college, I used to travel with him a lot. 2 trips, 1 or 2 trips every summer. And one time we went to the Panama Canal. And I noticed that the Panama Canal was built with rivets. And I realized that it was built with rivets because welding was not invented yet. When I was a little child, plastic was not invented yet. We didn't have plastic. If you want to buy some cooking oil, which I did with my mom, for my mom, she give you a bottle and you go down and the guy will fill it with cooking oil. And it drips all over the side, so you cannot really hold it because it'll slip. So they take a little rope made of straw and then you hang on with the rope because plastic was not invented yet. That was when I was a little child. I'm 65 years old. So 15 years later, I came to this country in 1971. And I went down to Chinatown with my mom, and there's a place called the Orange Land where you buy oranges and apples. And you can't buy $1 worth of oranges. It was too many. It was like $1 for 50 of them or something like that. So together we bought 50 cents of apple and 50 cents of oranges. And they give you a paper bag. There's no plastic. During my lifetime, the population of planet Earth had grew 3 times. We are now at the point of no return. Our planet Earth cannot support humanity as we exist. It's a foregone solution. You can argue what you want, and it's not coming back. So there's not a whole lot I can do, that we can do, to try to create harmony with the earth and the heaven. But there's something I can do for myself and for my family and for my student, which is to create a harmony within you, understanding the yin and the yang, understanding the 5 elements, doing the right kind of exercise to enhance the health, really solving some fundamental problems and not just addressing the symptoms. I believe we're now about 700,000, 800,000 deaths in the United States alone due to COVID. And even today, if you had taken your 2 shots, they ask you to take the 3rd shots, especially if you are what is called at-risk population, which means that you have some underlying disease. Things like diabetes, like my father, high blood pressure, cholesterol, and all that. This is really silly. You think about it. I thought the Western medicine fixed all that. I thought there's a pill for everything. So if a person have high blood pressure and he's taking the right pill, he should be cured, right? If a person have high cholesterol and he's taking the right pill, he should be cured. What is this thing about underlying disease? There is no more disease. This Western medicine should have done that. So it says that, no, they haven't done shit. Because what they have done is that they created an economy where they're providing you a chemical, and the chemical is about the symptom. They haven't done anything to your body. And if you bring that to the Eastern context, I'm not talking about just Chinese, Indian, the Eastern context, it's all about the qi. It's all about the qi. It's all about understanding that our existence is not just the physical body. Our existence is the body and the mind, and with the qi as the harness and the bridge. So, Stephen Hawking famously said that the earth can only have another 100 years. Be that as it may, I'm not going to live another 100 years, but I'm going to do my best. And I accept the possibility that my existence is beyond the physics, beyond the physical body. I accept that my existence is also the mind and the qi. And that's what I do, and that's what I'm trying to share with you. Okay? All right. And let me see. I think there was an important question. Let me see if I could go back. Okay, how do I tell myself when racing through, invading the move, I tell myself to relax? Okay, all right, this is a very, very important question. Amy, I do need to answer that question. This is very, 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 very important. Okay, so once upon a time, my Dharma master told me the story about how during the summer he takes his entire Sangha, all his nuns and volunteers and so forth, and they make a trip to the Yellowstone Park, and they did all their tourist thing, and then they come to a little town which has only one tourist attraction, which is a jail from the days of the gold rush. And so they visited that, paid the dues, paid the, and the guy who's running the jail, running the tourist attraction, very proudly says there's only two kinds of people who can leave this place. One are the one who are dead, and the other one are the one who are crazy. And my Dharma master says, well, I got to try this one. He says, can I go in and try it? And so they at first they said no, and then eventually he managed to, because it's uniform, I guess. And so he went in and he tried the jail, and then it turns out that the reason why people go crazy in there is because it's total darkness. And once you're in a place like this, it's not different than the isolation in our jail, okay, our kind of prison. I used to visit prison as a volunteer, and once you're in that chamber, whether it's total darkness or not, and you're deprived of your senses. Remember, we talk about the six senses now: the eye, the nose, the tongue, the ear, and the skin, right? All your senses. Once you're deprived of stimulus, then the only remaining sensor is your brain, and that gets super activated. And so this is one of the big problems with meditation, is that we don't explain well enough what is this body. We keep saying that this is a body as if it's just the fingers and the shoulder. No, the body consists of six sense doors, six doors that opens to the world. What's outside the world is the stimulus, is the physics. What's inside the world is our neurology, is our nerve system. In between is the physiology, is the door. The eye works with the sight. The nose works with the smell. The tongue works with the taste. The ear works with the sound. And the skin works with the touch. Once those five senses are deprived, the remaining gets very active, which is your brain. So be careful with that brain. So what you need to do is you need to go back to zero, which is, as I calm myself down, I need to learn how to calm down my mind. It's a practice. It's a practice. That's why it's called boot camp, one step at a time. So that's why, listen to what I said. In the very, very, very beginning, what did I say? I said, you need to calibrate your body, you need to calibrate your breath, you need to calibrate your mind. You straighten your spine, you open your shoulders, you relax your shoulder, you focus on your breath, and now you bring your mind and your hand together. That's the beginning of your practice, is that the mind and the body has to be one. The reason, Amy, that your mind is racing all over the place is because you've forgotten that your brain is only your body. Your brain is not your mind. At best, it's your thinking mind. So you need to harness that. You need to control that. And you do that by going to the basics. Always anchor your mind onto your body when you're in motion. Always anchor your mind onto your breath when you're stationary. It's a practice, okay? But if you don't practice that part, then you're actually walking down a very dangerous path. Because now it's like being thrown in the dungeon where you're deprived of your five senses, but your brain gets active. Okay? Very dangerous, okay? So this, I cannot emphasize this enough, all right?